We can talk about possible second builds for the other three decks. I mean, we can talk about them all, but we still don't know three of the nations. But we'll talk about the ones we do know. Stoicheia has a Grand Blue build, and we're technically going to be seeing that Tuesday and what it's supposed to do. And we already saw that Brandt has a Starvader looking secondary build. So these two have different builds, and we're obviously going to have 10 builds out of the gate when the booster set drops. So we still don't know what Keter, Dragon Empire, or Dark States secondary builds are going to be. Any idea what you think they might be?
Okay, so for the Dark States, because it's the last one you just went off of. So the Dark States right now is pretty much Spike Brothers.
Yes.
Which I'm surprised that they chose to go with Spike Brothers. Kind of like I figured they would have gone like with like Pale Moon, something that would have been the more popular thing.
Well, I think it's because the main characters are using these in this group, and they're supposed to be like the main protagonists of the group or whatever. So they're gonna appeal to their builds more, so they want more of a friendlier build.
On what planet is a friendly giant man with 4 arms with shoulder pads with spikes a friendly scene?
Okay, it's more humanoidish, I guess, to that point. You can technically say Pale Moon could be, friendly. You can technically say Gear Chronicle can be friendly. I don't think that DI can ever hit that mark.
No, Well, I mean, with Pale Moon, it's a circus. You can look like it that way, and then mechanical robots. That's one thing.
But that drags me to my theory about this, and the fact that Grand Blue is kind of the evil-esque for the Stoicheia or Stoicheia. I'm never gonna get that right.
Stoicheia.
But and then what do you call it? Starvaders is technically the evil version of anything in Brentgate.
I mean,
so if you go by,
kind of does fit.
So if you go by that, and you're gonna have a good and evil, then Dark States, you're gonna have probably DI as your backup because it's gonna be the contrast to everything. It's gonna be the evil build.
Oh, okay. Like going off of that. So you just said like the Grand Blue being the evil. Okay, so think of it like this way: you have the main protagonist, you have their main decks, and that's considered, the good guys. And then, like you said, okay, I use the same nation, but I use the dark side of the power. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So, Starvaders being, that Brent Gates, and then, for the Grand Blue being for Stoicheia, because he uses that DI, and then obviously for Caters, it's more than likely going to be Shadows.
Exactly.
It has to be. Like, if they don't introduce it, I'm sorry.
I mean, the only other thing I can think they would do for Keter is probably be like any of the any of the goddesses, like OTT or Genesis.
Oh, that is true. Like fallen angels. Considering, okay, if you look at the artwork, considering the angels are high above, so that could be like, we're looking at down below, like these aren't even worthy of our time. So.
I mean, if you think about it lore-wise, they came out on lore-wise, they said that Keter sanctioned off into two lifestyles. You have like the poverty-striven that is on the ground, and then in the floating cities, you have the rich and high, powerful kind of people.
They consider they think themselves better than everybody else. So it possibly. Back in G, the girl who played Inch Feather, what was her name?
Ren.
I want to say Ren. But anyways, that point, like her, she had a stuck-up attitude, and that's been pretty much, like Angel Feather is supposed to be healing, but with her attitude and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it could be, something that rubbed off of that.
But I feel like it's definitely going to be more of a shadowy paladin kind of build, and it's going to be more of
Shadow Angels.
Shadow Angels, yeah, Dark Angels.
Dark Angels, that would be nice.
But we can see that as like a second the evilish quote unquote build that we can see for Keter. And then Dragon Empire, that's going to be the weird one. I mean, I guess you can consider Nubatama and Murakumo as the evil side.
Yeah, considering they are using quote-unquote dark magic.
Yeah, because like Nubas have always been like the darker side of Dragon Empire, so I guess it would fit for them to go with that route if they want to go for like a darker build.
Yeah, I mean, like considering it's like ninjas and ninjutsu and powers, and even with the Shiranubi, I mean, it literally has the evil eye in its name, so that's kind of fits with it.
But like, I look at the other ones and I'm like, Tachi I don't see as evil.
Tachi's just like one of those things where it's just like,
I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm primitive. I'm like the wildlands. Just like, you don't mess with them, they don't mess with you. We're leaving it at that.
Narakami and Kaguro kind of mix in with each other, so they're kind of about the same on that level. Yeah. And then the only thing you really have left is Nubatama and Murakumo, and they're pretty close to each other to where you can just kind of make them into their own thing.
Yeah, it's like.
So I can just see that kind of being like the ninja samurai kind of dark build.
Yeah, I mean, like you could technically just mix the two of them, or maybe it was like Murakumo was like, all right, so I'm the good ones, and the Nubatoma's the dark ones. Like, help me fight the dark ones, kind of deal. There's that possibility.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much
Oh, hold
what.
on, I just not thought about that. Because okay, so Nubatama to Murakumo is what Aquaforce to Grand Blue.
Yes.
So there's that possibility. Considering they're both in the same, terrain, the same place. Aquaforce on that surface, underwater, the depths. So we do have that possibility.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be interesting because we don't know anything yet. They're being very, very secretive about like what the other builds are. We get like teases, I guess you'd say, about the other two.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
we already got guesses about that. But I'm curious because what's his name? Nirvana, the main unit for Dragon Empire, looks nothing like any nation, any clan. It's very, very a mix of like all of Dragon Empire and Narukami and like just all of Dragon Empire in general.
I mean, I guess that was kind of their point. It's just like it's not meant to show one clan as it was back then. It's just meant to hold the whole empire as a general, because they are no longer just one, Narukami or Kaguru. It is, one nation. So I can see that. So that makes sense. And I guess we're all still too stuck up in the aspect of, this is this clan, this is this clan, and what our favorite
Yeah.
clans, because that's the thing that's been since the very beginning of the game. So
I mean-
we're all kind of stuck like that. And so I guess trying to shift into new perspective, it's difficult for us.
I mean, they still won't clan identity in the set. Like they're still gonna give you things that look like Care Chronicle. They're still gonna give you
Oh,
things
yeah.
that look like Star Vaders and stuff like that. But they're still gonna like try to meld it together to where it's more of archetypes versus clans.
Yeah, I was like, they people know it's like, all right, we can't officially say they're new clans, but it's just like, you know what it is. It's just we just have to generalize it.
Yeah.